Hey, good morning. This is Dennis Dragato with Real America 2010. This is edition 24. I wanted to talk to you today about a couple of things, but I'm going to reach out and grab something that, normally I guess maybe I touch on it, but let's look at it from a different angle. I live in the sunny South. You have some states here: Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, and as you drift up, maybe even Kentucky. Uh, these states are probably the most racist states in the entire country. And if I could use as a reference point the Civil War, anyhow, if there was an opportunity for these states to secede from the United States and become their own country, I think that they would do that in a heartbeat, and maybe even Texas too. Um, the primary issue in these states is racism. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people that actually are out there, and what they say, they look at somebody like me and they said, "Oh, you're using the race card again." Well, it's apropos, folks. This is the reality of the situation that exists here in the sunny South. Now, people in the South, for the most part, white people that are conservatives or Republicans or teabaggers, hate Barack Obama primarily because he's black. They make up all kinds of lies about him. He's a terrorist. He's a Kenyan. He's not a citizen. He was born on Mars. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous. We have a governor here who, I've actually challenged him personally about diversity in the state as far as working within his staff or his government. In November, we have an opportunity to change governors, and God knows we need it dearly. But everything that happens here in the South happens primarily because of racism. Everybody talks about equality here in Christianity, and it's sort of ironic, but the extreme right wing conservative Christians are the most racist group of them all. And of course, they'll tell you that's not true, that they do lots of things for black people and they have black friends, but that's just not the case. Now, having said all that, here in the state of Alabama, in November, we have an opportunity to change and go to a Democratic governor. The governor who we have now has done all sorts of shady stuff. And of course, again, folks, let me remind you, for the sake of lawsuits, this is my opinion. But Governor Bob Riley, who has raided the gambling casinos, which, by the way, are bingo parlors, and shut them down, confiscated some of the machinery, even after these people have gone to the expense of going in front of the court system here in the state of Alabama and getting the parameters and the protocol for these machines set by the court and doing exactly what the court asked them to do, the governor still went in and raided them. Now we have Troy King, who rightfully is suing. Troy King, by the way, is our attorney general, who is rightfully suing BP, that wonderful company that brings you high-priced gas, to get money for the state because we have lost tax revenue and we can't afford to do things in our educational system. So Bob Riley's upset because Troy King's suing him, and yet BP's not giving us any money. So, Bob, what are you doing? Why don't you work with Troy for a change? Why don't you do the right thing for a change? Let's get BP on the run, get them to pay this money so we can take care of our state, take care of our kids. Bob, something that you just don't do on a regular basis. All right, so now we have a couple of guys, Dr. Robert Bentley and Ron Sparks, that are running for the governor's slot in November. And I think that clearly there's no other choice in Ron Sparks. Ron wants to establish taxation on the gambling parlors, the bingo parlors, and establish a lottery. Now, bear in mind that Tennessee has a lottery. North of us, that's a state in the South. If I didn't mention them, they're right along with us. Florida has a lottery. Georgia has a lottery. Mississippi has gambling casinos, real casinos with card table slot machines and roulette wheels, which we don't have here, by the way. And to tax all of this stuff to generate income for Medicare and for education. Dr. Bentley has absolutely no plan whatsoever. He's going to forfeit his salary if he wins, and I guess he's going to take care of education with his salary. Dr. Bentley, where are you going to get these jobs from? The South is Alabama is a right-to-work state. In other words, if your hair's out of place in the morning, your employer can fire you, not have a reason, put you on the street, and just look you in the eye and say, you're gone, and not have any justification for it. It is a horrible thing. Workman's compensation in this state is horrible. This quite possibly could be the most corrupt state in the entire South, and yet we don't want the bad immorality of the casinos being on our street fronts. So in other words, all these other states are immoral. They're immoral, but Alabama, who on a regular basis disrespects its citizens, the people that built this state, it's just sickening. So I know I'm all over the map again, but I'm angry. Let's get rid of the Republican Bob Riley, which we will do. He will go away and go off to his farm. But for God's sake, don't put Dr. Robert Bentley in there, because he's nothing more than another Bob Riley. Now, he says that he's going to give us the opportunity to vote for the casinos and for the lottery. Do you believe him? How often do Republicans tell the truth? This is Dennis Dragata saying, vote Democratic, vote Ron Sparks, get rid of Riley, and send Robert Bentley packing. Have a great day. I'm out.